Hi, I'm Sally Thibault. I'm on a bit of a rant today. Okay, so as many of you know, I've been practicing intuitive eating for a very long time. It all came about when I was a story that people who come to my events have heard this story over and over again, and it's all about the night that my husband kind of asked me this question that changed the way I viewed food. But what I'm seeing a lot happening now, because it's now becoming a buzzword, intuitive eating is becoming a buzzword, and it's really dangerous the way that some people are talking about this. I happen to believe, and in my experience, intuitive eating is a way to release the weight that no longer serves you. It is the way to find your body's natural set point. It's the way that your body settles without having to worry about, good food days and bad food days. But it's very much with intuitive eating about the inner work. And that's where I believe a lot of this message about intuitive eating is getting lost. And that's why I created the 4-step methodology, because intuitive eating sits as part of a framework. And the 4 steps are individual, so understanding your individuality as your superpower, learning that you cannot compete and should not compare yourself with others. Number 2 is the intuitive part, and that's when you get back in touch with trusting your body by asking specific questions. And that in itself is a journey, but it doesn't happen exclusively to the others. Number 2, and I'm pointing here because they're part of a quadrant. Number 3 is what I call intentional. So this is where you're creating the intention. This is where you're deciding what you want, and you're also choosing to honor your body. You're learning about how you've sabotaged in the past. You're uncovering what you truly believe about your value and your worth, and that sits in this intentional aspect of the quadrangle, or the quadrant, where also intuitive sits as part of it. And the last one is informed. And the informed aspect of this quadrant, this 4-step methodology as I call it, the 4th part is understanding how food impacts on you. And there are certain food groups that are not right for everybody. And I've mentioned numerous times, there's a couple of food groups that I know if I eat them, I don't feel good after them. Doesn't mean I don't like them, a couple of them I love, but when I choose to listen to what my body really needs, honor my body and my individuality, I make the decision from an informed perspective. And that's why the quadrant has to work together. The methodology has to work together. The intuitive eating is one aspect of the methodology, one aspect. It forms a whole part of you, and as I said, in the middle becomes your heart, because when you move these together, they form that lighter process, that lighter being, that lighter way of living. And it is not anti-diet, and it is not anti-weight loss, and it is not a battle and a struggle and I'm right and everybody else is wrong. It's a journey we go on. And I'm just seeing at the moment this kind of swing from one to the other. And if anybody dares bring up that they want to lose weight and feel great and be a certain body shape, it's like this whole anti-diet movement comes down on top of them, and it's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. But there are some people grabbing hold of it as if they kind of know this, and they've learnt it, and they've been to university and they've figured this out. It's a journey. It's your journey, that your individuality is so much a part of this journey. And there's no right and wrong. And that's what I'm going to be talking about at the Lighter event. And you'll hear a lot of me speaking a lot about this, because it's when all these things come together and they form this lighter way of being, it then radiates outwards. So it's like the moving in to understand this, and then it radiates outwards. And when you feel joy and confidence and empowerment and energy, it all just works. I'd love to see you at the Lighter event. Click on the link to find out more.